Following major developments about that group chat leak. Right now, top intelligence officials are back on Capitol Hill for a hearing about worldwide threats. But House Democrats have been questioning them after the Atlantic's editor-in-chief published more messages from that group text chain today. These were shared with him by senior Trump administration officials, where they were discussing plans to strike Houthi rebels in Yemen.
The conversation was candid and sensitive. But as the President National Security Advisor stated, no classified information was shared.
I've seen things much less sensitive be presented to us with high classification. And to say that it isn't is a lie to the country.
Those messages were revealed today and revealed that I did not transmit classified information.
This text message is clearly classified information. Secretary Hegseth has disclosed military plans as well as classified information. He needs to resign immediately.
You can see a pretty tense back and forth there. The government insists that the group chat did not include any classified information. But to be clear, these new messages do not appear to have any details about targeting locations, but they do show Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth discussing the timing of the attack and the weapons that were being used. These were apparently sent about 2 hours before those strikes. We have coverage from all angles this hour. NBC News senior national security correspondent Courtney Cubie, who's been following all of this for us. But let's go ahead and begin with NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Tsirkin with the latest on that hearing. Julie, some big words, some tense moments, pretty big differences, I'd say, between what we heard from the intel officials today compared to what we heard just yesterday. Walk us through what else they've said thus far.
Totally big differences, especially something coming from Tulsi Gabbard, who is the director of national intelligence, that stood out to me right away, because in her opening statement today, of which you played a part, where she does say that the messages discussed in this Signal chat thread were sensitive, she addressed the Signal chat thread in her opening statement. That is something she didn't touch at all yesterday. She also told the bipartisan Democrat and Republican panel, of course, that that the text being revealed by the Atlantic jogged her memory. She was, of course, on this text thread testifying yesterday, under oath, I may add, to the Senate Intelligence Committee, that she does not remember any specifics being discussed, that she does not remember any military plans being discussed. But today she says that seeing the Atlantic publish those text messages jogged her memory. Of course, all of these comments, all of these communications have to be preserved as part of the Records Act. It's not clear whether they will be done so. In this case, as Signal typically deletes text messages, Michael Waltz, according to the Atlantic, actually set a disappearing timer to 4 weeks on that text thread. Overall, very different tune that we're hearing from the intel officials as they're trying to get in front of something they're already very behind on.
Julie, I think the key here is nobody on that group text thread is disputing the content of the messages. So they are verifying these were messages that were exchanged. They are not disputing the facts that are in that exchange. Do you feel like Republicans are simply trying to downplay the seriousness of all of this? I mean, you talked to the chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Tom Cotton, who is the top Republican on the Intelligence Committee in the Senate, I asked him point blank if Hegseth broke the law here, because as Courtney can lay out to you very clearly, it is publicly documented that anything discussing military plans, locations, personnel is classified as secret. And as Ratcliffe, who is the chief of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, said yesterday to members of Congress, that any plans that are being discussed, even pre-decision strikes, need to be done through classified channels, of which Signal certainly isn't. Tom Cotton telling me that there's nothing more that he can really investigate here. He repeated some of the talking points from the White House, that the journalist Jeffrey Goldberg is a left-wing partisan hack, not really wanting to touch it. But there is some significant news moments ago where Senator Wicker, who's the top Republican on the Senate Armed Services panel, actually agreeing with Senator Jack Reed, the top Democrat, that they want the Inspector General report to be sent shortly. He told my colleagues moments ago that he is going to send a letter to the White House trying to get somebody to come and testify before the committee behind closed doors. Yeah. So Republicans are taking this seriously.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.